What's up, everyone? It's your boy NornRad89 here to talk about a actual blind buy that I recently picked up. This is quite an interesting watch and kind of proof of why I always am down to blind buy. You know, sometimes it's not going to turn out the greatest. You're not going to get the most top tier kind of film or anything like that, but you're going to get a once in a lifetime experience. So let's talk about this movie. Roll it. So today I wanted to talk about a blind buy that I actually picked up, and I scooped this up for $4.99. So that's one thing right there is, you know, when it's cheap, I'm going to pick it up. And this is Forest of the Living Dead. Now, just based off the title, based off the look of this cover right here, you're going to assume this is probably going to be like a zombie type film. And that was my first inclination. I didn't read the back or nothing like that. I didn't check out the synopsis. I just literally judged it based off of this cover. And that's what I like to do when I blind buy, you know what I mean? Typically, I'll just look at the cover and I'm like, kind of like the old rental days, you know what I mean? I'm going to scoop it up. And like I said, $4.99, not a bad price, but this film is not what it seems to be based on this cover. The back gives you, without reading it, the back gives you more of an inclination right there. There's your back piece. This is put out by Phase 4 Films and 611 Films. This is directed by Shan Serafin, who's actually in this film. He plays a detective in this movie, and it's written, directed, and produced by him. So that's really cool. This is a low-budget project that is the complete kind of vision of this one creator. So let's talk about the synopsis of what this movie's actually about, though. So, a fashion photographer named Jason West's life becomes a living nightmare when a supermodel girlfriend, Nicole, is brutally attacked by a demonic spectral entity. Driven to the edge of insanity, Nicole vanishes only to be found dead thousands of miles away. As more of Jason's friends are attacked in similar ways, he discovers a horrible secret that his former fiancée, Ariana, has killed herself in the infamous suicide forest of Mount Fuji. So, yeah, this film was nothing that I expected it to be when I popped it on. First of all, it really does become, at first, just a man trying to clear his name because they want to finger him for the murder and the missing, you know, his girl being missing, Nicole. He's the last one that saw her alive and all this stuff. So it's kind of him trying to clear his name and all that stuff first. Then we get into more of the supernatural territory. Another thing about this movie, though, I want to discuss is Michael Madsen is in this movie. And when Michael Madsen is in a film, that's kind of going to be like an automatic, like 3-star for me, just right off the bat. I love Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde. Can't go wrong with him. But yeah, this film like took so many turns and is so weird. And like I said, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience I'm never going to forget. Like I said, it first starts out kind of this guy just trying to clear his name of this murder that they think he did and everything, and then you end up finding out it's a supernatural thing. Him and his friends are being picked off one by one and haunted and stalked by this. This is not what she looks like. She doesn't even look anything like this, which I think is kind of funny. She looks like this. This is what the girl looks like in the movie. I don't know if you could check that out. But yeah, she doesn't look anything like this. It's this girl right here that's haunting them and stalking them and everything. So yeah, that is really crazy. Then a detective gets involved because he's trying to figure out what really went down. There's conspiracies in here and stuff like that, and espionage type stuff. So it just has multiple layers, but it's very low production. Like I said, don't go in expecting this is going to be the greatest watch of your life or anything. And this is currently streaming on Prime Video. That's where you can check this out. But yeah, don't go in expecting like an amazing watch. There's actual disc art though. I love that. There's actual disc art, so that's cool. No booklet or anything, and the special features are literally just the trailer and photo gallery. That's your special features right here. So it's a bare bones release. But yeah, this film does go places and actually has some scary moments. Like there's a sequence when the detective gets lost in the suicide Mount Fuji forest, and like I said, that scene like is really good. It's probably about 10 minutes long, and just kind of that feeling you get when you're lost in the woods, you don't know where you're going, and you're seeing things. Like, yeah, they play it off really well, and there's some good sound effects too in this movie. So you can tell that this director has a style, and he can do some things. He just needs, you know, kind of more money for production and stuff to really put out. Maybe someone to kind of write the script and, you know, kind of go help with him in creating the ideas. But like I said, this is pretty interesting. Like I said, a good, awesome blind buy, and one that I will always remember and champion. You know what I mean? This isn't going to be a constant rewatch, but it's going to be one of those films in my collection. I'm going to be like, I always remember scooping that up. I believe this was actually at Walgreens. This was at Walgreens, so they have like a movie bin area section where they have Blu-rays and DVDs, and sometimes I'll go scoop up and look over there when I'm going to Walgreens to, you know, pick up medicine or something. And right here, $4.99, so I'm not going to be mad at it. It's just my only kind of gripe with it really is that I thought it was going to be a zombie film, but that's me, you know. When you assume based off covers sometimes. I thought it was going to be a zombie film, but this film, like I said, took some turns, was pretty wild, and I would recommend at least one watch. In terms of a rad rating, I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10, like 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. It's still an above average film for me because the creator, writer, director, like his idea and just what he brought to life on screen. And like I said, he plays the detective in this movie. When he gets lost in the forest, that character, that's the director of this film. So Forest of the Living Dead, wanted to stop and discuss this film. Like I said, a fun little DVD that I added to my collection. Please let me know down below in the comment section, are there any releases that you picked up recently for physical media? And also stay tuned to the channel, have that notification bell poked so you're notified anytime I drop a video. But most importantly, I want y'all to have a safe and happy day. Peace out.